Hello and welcome to On the Bench LFC. So today, in your daily update, we're going to do it in a stream because there's a lot to talk about. And Capitan Jordan Henderson, he signed a contract extension, hasn't he? He has. He's done it, guys. What a legend. It's good to see. I've got some quotes here. Firstly, thank you to everyone that's joined me live. And if you're watching a replay back, leave a comment down below. Let me know your views on, obviously, Jordan Henderson signing a contract extension. For those that are trying to call into the show, please leave it until after I've done the updates. And then we'll take some call-ins and get your views on it. Yeah, let me know in the comment section down below your views on, obviously, the captain signing a contract extension. Let me know your views on today's topics, of course. And as always, please leave a thumbs up on the video. It helps push it up there and get more Liverpool supporters in so we can get their views, as always. Hope you've all had a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you for joining me, Lee, Dandio, British, Thomas Billings. Good to see you all in it. And Louis, of course. Right, so Henderson, new contract. Well, new deal. What have we got? What did Jordan Henderson have to say? He says, I'm absolutely delighted to have signed a new long-term contract with Liverpool FC. It's an honour and a privilege to represent this club, and it means everything. I'm excited for the next few years and will do everything I can to help this club be successful. You'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone to you as well, Mr. Jordan. It's great news, isn't it? I think this is great news. I know there's people out there that maybe don't love Jordan Henderson, but I think our captain signing a contract extension is good news for me personally. On the Liverpool website, he went on to say, I'm very happy to have signed a new contract for a long period of time. I'm absolutely delighted. It doesn't seem like too long ago when I signed my first one. It feels like yesterday, really, but a lot has happened since then. I feel it's been a progressive journey for me throughout my time here and one I've enjoyed so much. There is no other place in the world I would rather play football. I want to be here for as long as I can be. I'm so privileged to have been part of this club for so long and hopefully even longer now. Hopefully so. Hopefully so. Obviously, he's a leader. People talk about maybe not seeing him lead as much on the pitch, right? But Jurgen Klopp has had his say, and Jurgen Klopp said Jordan embodies entirely what it means to be an LFC player. He carries a lot on his shoulders that people on the outside won't see, but he embraces that responsibility and that leadership. He is our general, and I trust him completely. Now, obviously, Klopp trusts him completely, and who do we all trust more than anyone else? Mr. Jurgen, don't we? We really trust Jurgen Klopp, and we all say when it comes to transfers, when it comes to bringing in players, when it comes to what decisions get made with Liverpool Football Club, we all trust Jurgen Klopp. Now, obviously, his words over the captain there is great stuff. Paul says, new to your channel, really good quality, mate. Thank you so much, Paul. I'm glad that you found the channel, and I hope that you continue to obviously enjoy the content, mate. Get involved in the live stream, share your views on Liverpool, and yeah, really look forward to seeing your views on this. What do you make of Jordan Henderson signing a contract? Obviously, everyone in live chat, people that watch this back will end up seeing your views on Jordan Henderson signing this. Let everyone know, guys. Let everyone know. It's about getting your views out there, isn't it? Squisms, good to see you in it. What do you think about Robertson being appointed Scotland captain? Mark, we will get into it. I think this is great stuff. So, obviously, from one captain to another in today's updates. Andy Robertson has been made Scotland captain. The left back has 22 caps to his name to today. And today he has been given the honour of captaining his side when they take on Belgium and Portugal. Get in. I would try and do a Scottish impression. I do have people that in my family have lived in Scotland. My uncle that is married into the family is Scottish, and I really can understand him really well, but I cannot do the impression at all. Okay, I tried to do impressions on this channel, but I'm not very good at it. So yeah, but Andy Robertson, I am so made up for him. I think what an honour to be captain of your international club is a massive honour. It really is, okay? And one thing that I want to point out with this is Liverpool now have leaders. We have leaders of men in our team, in our squad. And just a couple of seasons ago, for instance, remember when Steven Gerrard was leaving Liverpool? We was like, oh my God, we're losing our captain, the man that always helped us get through these tough games, always managed to lift us up. And I remember doing live streams a year ago even and saying, where is that leader on the pitch? We need someone that can drag us through these games and lift us up. And a year on from them live streams, now we have got leaders in that team. We've got leaders on the bench that can come on. We've got men there that can really help us and pull us through in tough games. And so far this season, Liverpool being top of the table, and it's been scrappy in some games so far. But Andy Robertson, captain of Scotland. Virgil van Dijk, he's a captain. He's a leader of men. Jordan Henderson signing a contract extension at Liverpool. Captain. Captains there, guys. Captains, leaders. That's what Liverpool have got now, and that's what we're building. And you've got to say, that's the sort of people that Jurgen Klopp is bringing in. Moche says, Daz, can I call in or not? You can very much call in, but not just yet, Moches. Let me get through the quick updates, and then I will take call-ins. Anyone that wants to call into the show, just remember, just above my head where you see the webcam is, when you see the Skype logo, that means the call-ins are live. When it's not there, you can't just share it, so bear with. We will all get used to how it all works and stuff. But yeah, in a minute, guys, let me get through the updates, then we'll do it, all right? I want to get your views on it for sure. So yeah, Andy Robertson, what an honour. Absolutely fantastic stuff. What else have we got? Obviously, Virgil, on that, it was brilliant to see. He put yes, Skip, with a smiling little emoji face and a jiffy, or a giffy, however you want to say it, of Captain Jack Sparrow. I think that's hilarious. It's good to see the bond. The reason I wanted to bring this up on it is because you're seeing a bond throughout the players, and the players bond with the fans, and a unity. And that goes right down to the youth players as well, but a unity there. And we've seen a bond between Virgil and Gomez at the moment, Graham, but there's a bond between Robbo and Virgil as well. On and off the pitch, the players are getting to know each other, and they're becoming really good friends as well. So I wanted to highlight that because I think that's brilliant as well, guys. Right, so Anderlecht today have been pointing the finger. They've been pointing this. In case you didn't know what a finger is. They've been pointing one of those at Markovic because they've said that the deal fell through because it was his own fault. They said our president and sports director did everything he could to convince him, but Markovic was having none of it. He was having none of it, guys. Right, so I've seen your comments already when this did fall through, saying, what have we got to do to get rid of him? And I don't want to word it that way because it's not about getting rid of someone, is it? All right. But Markovic has been at Liverpool for a long time and it hasn't worked out for him. And I think this falls into the category of the players. If I was a professional football player right now, I would want to go from a team that I'm not getting first team football. I would want to go and play football. And Anderlecht are in the public eye, they're in the media pointing fingers and saying it was his fault. So for me, yeah, if I was Markovic, I would have took that move, personally, to go and get game time and to prove to your doubters and to the world that you've got capabilities. He's a professional football player. He was highly sought after before Liverpool signed him. That's why we did. So, yeah, I think this whole media thing where people keep going out in the media and shouting and pointing and doing all this stuff. We've seen Mignolet do it recently. I think it's a bit silly when people do that, and I don't know why Anderlecht would do that, because Markovic he's not an Naby Keita. He's not a Virgil van Dijk. He's not a Bobby. He's not any Liverpool player in the sense of a first team player that would really is someone to shout about, that your fans may be annoyed that you didn't sign him, for instance. But yeah, it's an interesting one, and I thought it was funny that they're pointing the finger. It's kind of school playground stuff, isn't it? No, it was your fault. It was your fault. It's not our fault. It's your fault. Grow up, isn't it? Anyway, talking about going into the press today as well and being childish, maybe. Ferno, welcome to the live stream, and to everyone that's joined. Thank you for joining me. Please leave a thumbs up while you're here, if you wouldn't mind. Napoli, they are bitter. They are very bitter, aren't they? Does that mean that Liverpool are sweet? Bittersweet? Is it Liverpool sweet, I guess? Napoli are bitter. The president of Napoli says, I will ask for an explanation from UEFA as to why Liverpool, the Champions League finalists, are put in pot 3. It is a disastrous anomaly. Is it now? It's interesting. It's interesting, isn't it? Let me know your views on it. Seriously, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think that I did say this, that Liverpool fans are very positive over the group, and I like that. I like that we've reacted so positive to the group this year. Napoli are a good team, right? And a lot of Liverpool fans have said it's probably the best time to be playing them, to be honest. I see Blue Tick right now saying they are scared. Let me know your views on this as well, guys. Look, Dandy saying he's useless. PD, all right, mate? All right, PD? How are you, my friend? Guys, is this... Why would you go into the media, right? You're the president of your football club. Surely this does just... do the pointing finger thing that Anderlecht are doing, and pointing, everyone's going to be pointing at Napoli now saying, you're scared. You're very, very scared. You just don't do that, do you? All right. As a club, as the fans of a club, I would not want to see Liverpool do this. All right. Simon says, reeks of fear, bro. Simon, it does, doesn't it? It does reek of fear. Look, yeah, if I was them, I'd be looking at PSG, I'd be looking at Liverpool and going, all right, it's a tough group. We've got to put our socks up and we've got to play well in this group to do all right. Yeah, we know that. We know that. We know that they've got to perform well. At the same time, though, don't go into the media and shout from the rooftops that, you know, this is a disastrous anomaly. That word is very tough for me to say, but yeah, anomaly. I can't say it, but yeah, whatever he had to say. Anyway, it's ridiculous, mate. Seriously, I wouldn't like to see Liverpool go out and say that, because as fans of that club, you would not want to see that, would you? Just try and do a job, all right? I think if I was them, I'd be looking at trying to do PSG. Maybe that's because I'm a Liverpool fan, and I just think, no, we beat you in pre-season, we're going to beat you again. But yeah, it's interesting, very interesting that he says that we will ask for an explanation from UEFA. And I know how that conversation is going to go down. He's going to ring up UEFA and go, look, I want an explanation. I'm demanding it. And UEFA are going to go, who's this again? The president of who? Oh, right, I see. Oh, okay then. All right. Yeah, can I just place you on hold for a second? And then you're going to get that little jazzy tune come on for about an hour. And then they're finally going to pick back up and go, yeah, so we've thought about your concerns, and no. And just put the phone down. They're not going to care about this at all, are they, basically? So I'm not... it's silly, absolutely silly. So yeah, let me know your views on that. As you guys are already saying, Squizums is saying, already terrified of Anfield since pre-season. They are. Dandio says Henderson needs to retire by the next 3 years. I personally think he really doesn't suit Liverpool. So interesting. Dandy's like, you're not a fan of this then. So anyone else agree with Dandy right there? If you're watching this back, leave a comment with what Dandy's saying. Elliot says, on another topic, Daz, Sally getting nominated in a... Sally? Or Sally? Salah getting nominated. Let me find that comment again. Sally getting nominated in the top 3 of best FIFA player will be great for his confidence. Yeah, do you reckon these players look at like the FIFA things and be like, oh, that's a confidence booster? Maybe, Elliot, maybe. It's got to kind of do something for him, hasn't it? I guess if I was on FIFA, would I take his Probably. Henderson is a master of back pass, says L. They're coming out now. Obviously, everyone's views, put it out, air it, let everyone know. Ferno says that's such an idiotic comment about Henderson. Why would he retire in 3 years? Get it out there, guys. Obviously, the debate is there for everyone to see. What else have we got today for you and updates before I take call-ins? Obviously, Fabinho has obviously been called up for his Brazil for the international games. But they're talking about it being at right back. Okay, now we haven't seen him in the Premier League for us yet. And Brazil are going to be looking to play him at right back. And it's like the lad is having to adapt to life at Liverpool and to play in a new system with 3 midfielders, not 2. And then Brazil are going to go, well, people were saying, oh, it's already benefiting him getting a move to Liverpool. Now he's getting called up to Brazil. Nice one. Let's put him at right back. Now, Brazil bugs me because they don't use Bobby. So I'm like, right, firstly, Brazil, you're missing a trick there. Fabinho is a top player, and they are going to use him at right back. No. Look, he started his career at right back. He's a very good player. He can play right back, he can play centre back, and he will probably do a job there, wouldn't he? But it will be good if he gets game time. That's a good thing. And I'm still getting a few messages every day saying, what's the situation with Fabinho? He's not injured, he's not ill. Klopp is just biding his time with him by the looks of it. And interestingly, Klopp did say that he has made some big steps in the last few weeks as well. He said he could play at the moment, and obviously if he goes away with Brazil for the international games, hopefully he gets some games, and then once he comes back, we have got games. Obviously we've got the 22 days of madness. So Klopp said we will need all of our players, so that is obvious that Fabinho will play over that period as well. I'm pretty sure it won't be a right back for Liverpool. So let me know your views on that. Fabinho playing for Brazil is a plus, but at right back, look, I think Fabinho will probably take it. Playing for Brazil is a big deal. Like Andy getting captain for Scotland is a big deal. Being called up for Brazil is a big deal for Fabinho. So yeah, I made up that he's been called up for Brazil, but at right back, come on, play him in the midfield. He's an absolute beast, isn't he? PD says, I can't wait for the Spurs game. Me neither, mate. Hopefully we can get at them. Or he says, I like Henderson, but I don't feel like he has starting place in our squad anymore. We have Keita, Fab, Milner, Genie, Lallana, and more. And he doesn't fit our style as well as some of those will. So interestingly here, guys, you know, there's a few comments here that are not fans of Henderson. I'm here in the building, says EG. Good to see you in the building today. Teat or tight or, yeah, is a tit, basically, says Simon. I'm at Wembley Stadium, says PD. Oh, there you go. So you're going to be there for that one. That'd be fantastic. Facility Time says Hendo has provided a stabilising effect when he has come on from the bench. So you prefer it to see Henderson on from the bench then. So obviously Henderson signs a new long-term deal for anyone who's just joined. I think it's good. I think it's good to see that we are signing and keeping these players, Liverpool's first team players, at the club. I think this is great. He is the captain after all. And there's a few people that think that Henderson shouldn't be playing for Liverpool. So spark the debate, get your views out there. What else have we got here? We got anything else today? Right, Brewster. No, hang on first. Mane wins PFE Player of the Month. Get in. 4 games, 4 goals. He started absolutely amazing. I said it this year. Mane is going to want to be up there fighting with the likes of Salah for the amount of goals this year. He wants to be the main man, Mane, doesn't he? It's obvious to see. It's obvious that Mane wants to be back up there. Before Salah come into the club, Mane was the Don. He was the geezer. And then we brought Salah in to make sure that we've got backup for Mane, really. And Salah just come in and just started breaking records. You know, he was a DJ's worst nightmare. You saw what I did there. But basically, Salah was ridiculously good last season. And now this season, Salah is still doing well. You know, he's up there with Silva for assists and stuff like that, isn't he, guys? So he's still doing really well. And I like that Salah, we know what he's capable of. So we know that he's going to start blowing in the goals as well. But Mane is like, no, I want to be up there as well this year. He got the PFA Player of the Month. Fantastic stuff. Big shout out to Mane for that one. Let me know your views. Who's going to win this year between, because it is competitive between them two. I don't care what anyone says. Mane and Salah, they are going to be competing. Who gets more goals this season? Mane or Mo? It's the 2 M's. Let me know in the comment section. If you're watching live and you haven't yet, please leave a thumbs up on the live stream. If you're enjoying the contest as well, so the contest, it's because I'm talking about those. So the live stream, Simon says, Sadio. Evening Dad says, Kenny, good evening, Kenny. How are you, my friend? I hope that you're good. Nigel, I saw that there was a super chat from last time from Nigel, and I want to have a massive shout out to Nigel. If he ends up watching this or is in a live chat now, massive shout out to you, because for some reason the super chats are not coming up to me, Nigel. So if you end up watching this, my friend, or if you're in, massive thank you to you for that. I don't know why, but YouTube's being a little bit funny with the super chats at the moment, not letting me know, but yeah, huge thank you to you, my friend. I never expect it, but I always am grateful. Thank you so much. EG says to Allison, you just have to get on with life. Yes, you do. Fernando says Henderson is a great club captain and he might not start every game, but he's a good person to have in a change room for sure. And obviously Klopp said John Henderson embodies entirely what it means to be an LFC player. He carries a lot on his shoulders that people on the outside won't see. So he's speaking about what he does behind and in the changing rooms, behind the scenes. But he embraces that responsibility and the leadership. He is a general, and I trust him completely. So that's great stuff. Connor says, can see Fabinho playing against Spurs, but would be nice if Mane signs a new contract tomorrow. God, we do need to see Mane get on that contract situation, don't we? I want to see Mane sign it, guys. I really do. And Brewster said that he did seriously consider his future, but decided it was the right choice to remain at Liverpool and to prove that he is good enough to play for Liverpool. He's looking to get his, obviously, first team debut this season when he returns from injury. I like this. We know that he would have been given some assurances with a pathway into the first team because he did remain at Liverpool. And I like that he didn't choose an easy option to go somewhere else to get game time as well. His words here is, I seriously considered my future, but I decided it was the right choice to remain at Liverpool and to prove I was good enough. Get in. I love that. He has got a massive future ahead of him, I think, with Brewster. I think he's a quality youngster. And instead of taking an easy option, he wants to remain at Liverpool and prove he's good enough. What a lad. I think that's fantastic. Eric says, how's things today, Daz? Things are fantastic, mate. Obviously, Jordan Henderson signed a new long-term deal. El Capitane. It's great news. Andy Robertson has been made Scotland captain, so that's brilliant as well. There's loads of stuff gone down today, so it's a brilliant day for Liverpool Football Club. Right. I'm going to get the little logo up on the screen so that you guys know that the stuff that we're talking about in the live stream is just about to get even better, because it means that the call-ins are about to go down. So yeah, if you want to call into the show, guys, get on the call-in. Right. Who else have we got in the show? James, it's not Mane. It's not Mane. What's not Mane? Who's not Mane? What's going down? I agree, Daz. He could have taken the easy way out and leave, but he wanted to stay. Indeed, Kenny. Indeed. I think it was brilliant to see that. Mane and Bobby need new charts, says Louis. Louis, we need to make it up, don't we? Get it out on the channel for sure. James says, yes, wish we kept Harry Wilson. James, you're not the only one there. We have a call-in, guys. We have a call-in. Let me get this up here. Ooh, there we go. Hello and welcome to the channel. What's your name and what's your views on today's topics?
Hey, Daz. This is Fry out of California.
Hello, Fry. Good to see you on the channel again, my friend. What you make of today, mate?
I think as much as everybody doesn't rate Jordan Henderson, I think this is a good signing. I think it's good for the club. I think he's a good leader. I think that Klopp sees something in him that we don't see, and we need to trust in Klopp.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. This is what, leading up to a transfer window and in a transfer window, where everyone's views were, you've got to trust Klopp with transfers, you've got to trust him with who he brings in, even if it is someone like Robbo that didn't cost a lot. That was the main view, wasn't it? That we was all saying, just trust Jurgen Klopp, and everyone was going, look, I trust him now. And Klopp's words over Jordan Henderson embodies entirely what it means to be an LFC player. If that's not enough, you've got to trust Klopp. You know, he's remaining to stay strong over Jordan Henderson as captain. So, yeah, what do you make? Obviously, you agree with that fully.
Yeah, you know, there was a point in time in the club, especially early days for Klopp, when he came in, and literally the only two leaders on the team were Jordan Henderson and James Milner. And, you know, we're starting to see, even with his recruitment, that he's bringing on leaders into the team. You know, you take Virgil van Dijk, captain of the Netherlands, and even when we were trying to get Fekir, he's captain of his club. We're trying to get leaders. Once you get leaders in a club, now you start seeing in those moments where we're having a tough time, the leaders step up. So what Klopp sees is a leader in Jordan Henderson. Yes, he might not be a Real Madrid style player, but leadership takes over everything, you know.
I fully agree with that. That's the point that I wanted to make, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you said you was talking about, obviously, when we were targeting Fekir as well. And I remember I kept saying on the live streams, it's about bringing another leader into the team as well, because there was a point where we just was looking around on the pitch, and when the games was against us, and we just was looking and going, where's the Gerrard that we used to have, that used to, you know, really bring the team on and help us push forwards and kick the lads up the backside when they needed it. And there was a point when we didn't have that. And now you look on that picture and you think, mate, the whole team throughout has got leaders there. Maybe some of them are more vocal than the others, but we have got the leaders now. And with the likes of Robertson now captain for Scotland, this is going to make more of a leader of him as well, because he's going to grow into that captain role for Scotland as well, surely.
Yeah, and I'm truly excited for that. I'm also looking forward to Sadio Mane signing a new contract. I think that would be great for us. It just, you know, but the more we see guys like Jordan Henderson signing new contracts, it just shows more that our club is flourishing. So it's always a good sign of where we're going as a club.
Yeah, of course. I wanted to say as well, obviously you talked then about Mane signing a new contract. Is there anyone else at the club that you think, other than Mane, deserves a new contract within this next season?
I mean, a sticking point for me was definitely Mane signing a new contract. I'd like to see where Gini is at with these contracts. I'd like to see where young Trent is at with his contract. Like, I think everybody should be set at this point, because I think Firmino, Salah, all those guys, you know, they're well committed to the club. So yeah, I mean, everybody else who's either on the bench or it also comes down to performances in the next season to see who really steps up to the point where, okay, we need to make sure we solidify them into the team. But yeah, you know, I feel fairly comfortable. It's not so often that we've seen this kind of signing of new contracts in the club in previous years, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's great to see Liverpool identifying that the squad that we're building and the players that we've got, we need to make sure that they're happy. And even though that I've seen a lot of people say now that the contracts don't mean as much anymore, it still does play a big part in football these days, doesn't it? And you've still got to give these players these contracts. So what's your views on that? You know, I know that players still have a lot of power. When they want to leave, they can still push to a certain degree, but it's still a massive part though, isn't it, mate? These contracts still, you need to do it, don't you?
Well, a contract, as much as it's breakable nowadays, it's a significant step to players saying, okay, I trust what you guys are doing here, and I know we can do something special in the next year or two. So I think that's what it most effectively means, is that players are not necessarily committing themselves to the club, but they're committing themselves to the mission. And there's a mission that Jurgen Klopp has been building from 3 years past, that, you know, even players looking outside in are just like, wow, I wish I was a part of that, you know, so.
Yeah, I think that's spot on there, mate. I've just seen FIFA Gaming saying a new contract adds value to a player as well, because you're looking at the likes of Emre Can and how his contract went down there. There's certain situations where players won't sign a new contract, and you will always get that where it ends up running down so much, but you don't want to see that happen as well for Liverpool, because Emre Can, you know, a player of his quality, even though we all got a little bit sour towards the end, or most of us did, but in today's market, Emre Can could have still gone for a fair amount of money if he had a few years on his contract, and then we could have replaced him with another quality player with that money, couldn't we?
Yeah. But I mean, at that point, I feel like, well, it seems like we did our best to try and keep him, you know. But I think the player had made a decision. They wanted to play a certain way, and we just couldn't keep him. And Klopp has viewed him a certain way. So that was a tough situation. But I feel like we've closed the gap with coming in.
Hello.
Sorry about that. I got cut off.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, absolutely fantastic, mate. I have to agree. I think you brought up some great points there. And as we were talking about with the contracts, I think you need to have the contracts these days. You know, Jordan Henderson, captain of the club, as your captain, you need them to lead by example. And if the players do look up to him on and off the pitch, your captain's just signed a new contract at the club. So hopefully the other players that will be looking up to him should be following suit as well, shouldn't they?
Definitely, especially the young ones you mentioned about Brewster. You know, and Trent looks up to Jordan Henderson big time. I mean, he's helped him a lot. So you know, it's really important that we sign leaders like that, because that helps us bridge the next level of Liverpool players coming in.
Yeah, I fully agree, mate. Thank you so much for calling into the show, mate. Hopefully you call in again on the show, because it's fantastic to get your views on it, always.
Thanks, Des.
Thanks, mate. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day as well, mate. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
Great phone in again there. Obviously talking about contracts and how they might not mean a lot in certain ways, but in other ways they are still vital to football clubs, you know, and values of players. Nigel, I did do a shout out, mate. I'm hoping that obviously you heard the shout out before, obviously as well. It was for the donation. I wanted to just clear that one up there, mate. I think we should get Ruben Neves, says EG. He's a quality player. We were linked with him, wasn't he? Scout says Henderson not good enough for our bench, to be honest. Let me know your views on that one, guys. Obviously, we've had a few comments here talking about Henderson not being good enough today. I'm just going to try and call this person here, see if he answers. Let me see if I can do this, because he was trying to call in while I was on the call there. Just want to make sure. No answer there. That's a shame. I was just trying to call in. But yeah, so obviously today we've had some good updates there. Henderson signed a new contract. Mane. Oh, we've got a call in. Here we go. Hello, welcome to the channel. Hello, mate. State your name and, what's your views on all this with Henderson and everything today?
My name is Mohammed and I'm delighted with the news. Yeah, he deserves it. I mean, like, for the amount of hate that he gets from the fans is just ridiculous. And yeah, I'm happy with the deal that he got.
Yeah, so obviously we've got the news that he signed his contract, and in the chat, it's been mixed. I've seen comments where people are saying he shouldn't even be on the bench. I've seen comments saying he's not good enough for Liverpool, saying that he's only got a few years left, and you said you don't get that. So for you, Jordan Henderson, Liverpool captain, what do you have to say to those comments? And obviously I respect everyone's views, but how do you look at Jordan Henderson?
Like, I've seen comments like slating him for like back passing. Like, to be honest, like, YNWA does it every time, and like, he doesn't get the hate. That's something that I don't get. Like, the other day I saw a stat where it said Henderson has met, like, on the average he makes more forward passes than Busquets. Like, I would even, like, arguably he's better than Jorginho, but people are still gonna like hate him. I mean,
what does Henderson have to do to get plaudits? Because in the World Cup, I think he started to get quite a lot of plaudits, didn't he? And then it's like the World Cup finished, he hasn't started for Liverpool, and again, it's like people still doubt his ability. But it's not that I'm not saying that I disagree with certain views, and I'm not saying that I do agree. I just want to get your views on it now. What does Jordan Henderson have to do apart from get on the pitch, do a 100-metre sprint and bang in a screamer? He's not a Mo Salah, he's not a Sadio Mane, he's not a Virgil van Dijk. He's not an Naby Keita we've waited for ages to get him in. But what Jordan Henderson has done is he's come into the club and he's conquered so much since coming in. He's had to work really hard to turn a lot of fans' opinions that didn't like him. He's turned a lot of them around, and he's become Liverpool captain, and he's still here, and he's just signed a new long-term contract. So what has he got to do, in your opinion, my friend?
I just think like he needs to improve defensively. Like that's the only problem I have with him. Like when we get caught on the counter, we need like that DM that will, that will like cover the fullbacks when and they bomb on. That's like the only criticism of him like that I have. But other than that, he's a really quality player, and the reason why fans like they don't really, some of the fans don't like him is because we went from Gerrard to Henderson. Like Gerrard was a great player, like he was a world class player, like one of the, in my opinion, the best midfielder to ever play the game. So I just think it's unfair that he's getting all this criticism. Yeah.
I think I probably fell into the category a bit of the Gerrard to Henderson situation, because I was so used to having a captain fantastic in Steven Gerrard that it didn't matter whether it was Jordan Henderson or whoever it was. To go from Gerrard being captain at Liverpool Football Club, I hold my hands up fully. No one would have been good enough to take over the captain's armband, to be honest, But, I see in the comment section here, score more goals from midfield, says PD. You said that for you to improve for Jordan is to get better defensively, because we need that holding midfielder. Yeah. Would you say that Jordan's best position probably isn't a holding midfielder? But
I would say it's like a number 8, like a box-to-box midfielder. Like, I prefer him over Wijnaldum, to be honest. Like, I would have Fabinho in the number 6, Henderson, like, along with Naby Keita in midfield.
So would you like to see that now this season and see how he does? And do you think that could maybe overcome some of the criticism that he gets?
Like, he's better than Wijnaldum. Like, what people don't see, what they don't realise is that Wijnaldum is the one that's making all these backward passing, and it just frustrates me when I'm watching Wijnaldum and I see him. I'd rather like have Henderson than Wijnaldum, 100%. Like,
so obviously you've got your Genie fans, I think. I mean, you've got your Henderson fans, like yourself. Obviously, you prefer Henderson to Genie, and then you've got people that are like, I would not play Henderson. I would rather keep Genie on the pitch. So it's difficult, because I think this is why I love football, right? You will always have people that prefer different players, and I think this is why it's great to see now as a club. We've got options. So for yourself, do you think that Klopp has done amazing in the squad that he's built? Because it's absolutely brilliant to see that now with rotation, we have got this where Klopp can go, right, in this game, Henderson will probably suit this game better than what Genie would. But in that game, we need Genie over Henderson for sure. So do you like the options that we've got now, or are you outrightly, no, I don't want to see Genie on any game, you would prefer Henderson?
I've gone from like watching Lucas and Alan in the same midfield, so of course I'm happy about that. Like, it's a huge improvement, you know what I mean? So, but like, like when we conceded the goal against Leicester, like, I swear to God, like, I saw so many fans on Twitter blaming Henderson for it, like, because the pass that he done to Van Dijk, and then Van Dijk, it's just like stupid. Like, there's an agenda against this guy. Honestly, doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I just wanted to like.
Hey, mate, honestly, on this channel, what I always say is I respect everyone's views, and I want to get everyone to get their views out there. That's what it's about. You've got your own views, air them, and it's about everyone respecting everyone's views and having a debate about it. You can't be wrong if it's your views, Massive thank you for ringing into the show, my friend. And hopefully you ring in again in the future. It's good to hear your voice, mate.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
And you, mate. Take care. Bye-bye. So obviously, with the call in there, he would play Henderson over Genie on the pitch. So I could see in the comments straight away that people are like, no way, Genie is better. So it's a difficult one. Like I say, everyone has got their own favourites. And the one thing that I wanted to point out from that call in is it's the options that we've got now, guys. It's if you haven't got Genie for a game, you've got Jordan Henderson. If you haven't got Jordan Henderson for a game, you've got Milner. If you haven't got Milner, you've got Naby Keita. We've got Fabinho now in there as well. We have got quite a lot of options. You've got Lallana there as well, which we're all forgetting about. And every single one of them haven't got fans. And today, obviously, a key talking point is Henderson. And I have seen the criticism already there. And the one thing that I would like for anyone that may be watching this back is leave in the comment section down below. If you are a fan of Jordan Henderson, put in the comment section that you are, and what has Jordan Henderson got to do for you to, answer these critics? Can he answer the critics, or is it physically impossible for him? Do you think there will always be people that just say Jordan Henderson's not good enough because he's not someone that can skill 15 people? He can't take it around loads of people. He's not someone with loads of flair. He's not an navigator that can just drift in and out and glide through people. He's not that. What Jordan Henderson gives you is, I think I saw, or it might have been on the call in earlier, he gives you stability. I saw it in the comments. It's stability. Jordan Henderson is a stability type player, isn't he? He's probably a typical British player, to be honest. Ox will be back at some times as Eric. Yeah, you've got him as well. Oh, we got a call in. If you want to call into the show, then definitely call in, and I will take another call in. For sure. It's about getting your views out on the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, join in, call into the show, get involved in a live chat. Here we go. Hello, welcome to the channel. What's your name and what's your views on today's topics?
Hi Daz, it's Fizzy. I love your channel and seeing your content, so I thought I'll get involved as well.
Yes, Fizzy, good to hear your voice, my friend. I hope you've had a fantastic day. What's your views, mate?
Yeah, regarding Henderson, I feel like he's so underrated, in my opinion, of course. I feel like people tend to forget his transformation as a midfielder. When he newly came in, he was more box-to-box, he was a bit more attacking, and he's had to adapt his position, especially when Klopp's come in. He's gone from like a box-to-box attacking type of midfielder to more of a deep line central midfielder. And I feel like his passing range and what he can do is amazing. And I don't think a lot of people see that. I think the reason why people don't see how good he is or what he does in the game is because he's playing much deeper and he doesn't score enough goals and he doesn't get enough assists. But what he does is he gives us that protection in front of the back four, and he can pick a pass. If you look at Gini Wijnaldum, has he got a ball where he could hit it 40 or 50 yards? He hasn't got that in his locker. Maybe James Milner has, and we've not seen much of Keita, but he is one guy who can literally spray the ball over the park, and that's what we need in a midfield. Yeah,
I really like that you've just highlighted that. And again, I think it's the options thing, because Jordan Henderson, he's got it in his locker that he can spray a pass diagonally for sure. And Gini, I've always said that Gini is more of he's a quick transitional player for me. It's about the little passing. When we win the ball back and we're on the counter attack, Gini is so good at the quick 1-2s and getting involved in that sense. And I see people's comments on Gini about passing back, like the last call, it was pass back or passing sideways, but it's about keeping hold of possession. And I think Gini's really good in that sense. Some people will say that's a negative look, but it depends on how you look at these players and whether you like them or whether you don't like them. I think with Jordan Henderson, I saw a comment saying, stability, can he even control a game? Again, I think it's just how you look at these players in general, isn't it? Because Jordan Henderson, sitting in front of the back line, is he the best in the holding midfield? No way. I don't think he's the best in that position for sure. He had to adapt his game to do it. I think he's had games where he can be ridiculously good there. And then he's had games where he gets caught maybe ball watching sometimes. He tries to press and he gets caught out of position. So what's your views on that, mate? Holding role for Jordan Henderson, it's not his best position. So would you like to see him played more of a box-to-box midfielder this season now that we got Fabinho in the door?
Personally, I don't feel like he can play that box-to-box role anymore. I feel like earlier on in his career, he had more pace. I don't know. He looks now, at the age of, I think he's 28, he looks more built, he looks more stronger, and physically, I don't feel he's got the legs to play that box-to-box role. I think he's adapted his game to becoming a deep line midfielder. And I think when we were going for the title in 2014, he was vital to what we used to do, because Gerrard was the one he didn't really have the legs back then. He was playing that deep line midfield role. And it was Henderson who was literally running around and literally doing all the dirty work. And what I see now is that he's adapted his game. So he's more of a defensive type of midfielder, because it's very rare you see Henderson running into the box or really chasing back. He's more just giving protection to the back four. But what is interesting for me, and I don't know how Klopp sees this, is how does he bring in Fabinho? Because Fabinho is literally a defensive type of midfielder. And when Henderson is playing in that position as well, it could maybe create some competition.
Yeah, I agree. But it's a good competition though, isn't it? It really is. And this is what we've got now. This is what we had to build. And I think it's got to raise the levels of all the players' games. I think we've seen it with Gini this season. We saw it in pre-season, but we've seen it so far this season. Milner and Gini both raised the level of their games at certain points of this season. They both look better, I would say, than what they maybe did. And we're talking about Liverpool not being at their best so far this year. Jordan Henderson will have to raise his game again this season if he wants to be selected for the team, because you've got Naby Keita in there now, you've got Fabinho, you've got two players that have been brought into the club that are capable of playing that holding role. And I think a lot of people don't look at Naby Keita as the holding midfielder. But
yes, he's more box to box, more attacking, lacking proper number 8.
But Naby Keita can very much play that holding midfielder if we needed him to. And I think if Klopp was looking at his selections and was thinking, well, Naby's doing fantastic and I want to play Gini in a more advanced role because of a certain tactic or this, or I want to play Milner and I want to play Lallana in this game, then I think Klopp's not scared to put Naby in a holding role. I really don't. But it's very interesting that we've got them options for sure. What's your views? I want to get your views on Napoli, obviously their president, and the Champions League, and him saying that he's bitter and he wants to ask for an explanation. It's obvious that they're scared, isn't it? How would you feel if that was Liverpool?
Yeah, literally, I was reading the article and I was thinking, wow, it just feels so amazing to know that there are teams in Europe that are fairing us. It feels like 10 years ago under Rafa, when we were the top team in Europe, and we were going to places like Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and we were winning. We were the team back 10 years ago. So to have that feel around the club, to know that teams are scared of us in Europe, and I think PSG as well. I think PSG, with the talent they have, they will be worried about us as well. I don't think any European side would want to come to Anfield on a European night. And to be honest, when the draw did come out and I saw Napoli and PSG, I was so excited. The reason why I was so excited is because when you play in the Champions League, you want to play against the best sides. It was nice last year to play against Spartak Moscow in the group stages, but let's be real. Do you really want to be playing Spartak Moscow and beating them 8-0? Yes, it's nice, but for me, it's all about the glamour ties, and I just can't wait to welcome Napoli and PSG at Anfield, and hopefully we could progress further and play, maybe Real Madrid again. I would love that.
Yeah, I agree. You want to be playing the best teams. We want to be in the best competitions. That's what it's all about. We're Liverpool Football Club. That's what the fans expect. That's what the players that sign for Liverpool are expecting as well. They want to be playing against the top teams. They want to be playing against the best players in the world, and they want to be proving that we are the best players and we are the best team as well by beating these teams. And I was
going to touch upon saying that last year, I feel like we wasn't really tested. We only played Man City and then we played Real Madrid. And I feel like if we had played a Real Madrid earlier, maybe in the last 16 or the quarterfinals, I think that would have been better for us in a sense, because we could really see where we were at. I know that the final was unfortunate, with what happened and what occurred. But I felt like maybe if we played a team of a Real Madrid or a PSG earlier, we might have got to see what level we were actually at. And I feel we will get a better look of how far we have come, because in the next few weeks we play Spurs, we play I think PSG as well, Man City, and that is the time for me. I feel like we will see how far Liverpool Football Club has come under Jurgen Klopp. I think it was amazing getting to the final last year. We did come up short. Now we've brought in Naby Keita, Fabinho, Shaqiri and Alisson. We've got the players, we've got the tools, and I just hope we get past this next month or so with positive results, and it'll really see what we can really achieve this year too.
Yeah, no, I think you've been absolutely superb with that, mate, to be honest. I think that's what Liverpool need to do, to be fair. And like I say, I look at the comments from their president, and I just think if you was the players as well from that team, you'd be like, come on, have a little bit of respect for us, because they would be like, have a bit of faith that we can do a job in this group, because they would be wanting to play against Liverpool. They would be wanting to play against PSG. Yes, they would want to progress from the groups, but they would be feeling like they can compete. So it's embarrassing for them, isn't it, mate?
It is, and what it sends the wrong message to the players, because now when they'll be heading over to Anfield, when they're in that tunnel looking across, they'll be thinking, oh, we can't beat these. You know, we've already lost before we've even gotten to the pitch. And I feel like that is mentally, for us as Liverpool, that is great to know that the other teams kind of psychologically lost in their mind before they enter the pitch. It gives us an advantage. And whereas for Napoli, it gives them a disadvantage. So it was very odd to say that, you know, it's unfair that we've got Liverpool and stuff. But I think for us on a personal note, I think it's amazing. And that's what we need. I think that fear factor that we've missed for so long. I don't feel like any team in the league or the Champions League would want to come to Anfield. Last season in the Premier League, we were undefeated at Anfield. And I think that was the first time since Rafa Benitez that we went a whole season in the league campaign unbeaten at Anfield. So I feel like for us, it's amazing. But I think for Napoli, you know, they could reconsider, you know, speaking out in such a way.
Yeah, honestly, can you imagine? He probably spoke out and then afterwards thought, oh no, here we go. He's probably had a little phone call as well from someone going, are you on something, mate? Like, what
are they smoking over there in Naples?
Yeah, seriously. Cameron says, no one really questions Lallana, doesn't seem the same player. What's your views on Lallana, mate? Obviously, we spoke about Henderson and Genie and out on the call-ins, but Adam Lallana, he's been called up for England. Is he going to be a real player for Liverpool again, or is he one that's going to just kind of drop into the shadows?
I actually feel sorry for Adam Lallana, because I feel like when the season 2016-2017 started, he started like a house on fire. He was one of our best players along with Coutinho, and he was so pivotal in what we did that year. Then, you know, he dropped off in form, and I think also in 2016 he got the Best Player of the Year award for England, you know. So I feel with him it's going to be very hard now to come back into the side. I feel like he's 30 years old now, and we don't know what type of player he is now. You know, 18 months ago, you'd say, yeah, Adam Lallana is the first name on the team sheet. Now, he's on the bench, and it's like no one's even saying, oh, when's Lallana going to get back into the side? And I think for him on a personal note, it is worrying. But I think for us as a club and as a squad, I think it's amazing to have him in the squad. I really like Adam Lallana. I think he's got amazing quality. But it'll be interesting to see how he gets back into the side. And I believe that he should be given a chance, because I still feel he's got quality, and he gives us a bit of something different. You know, he's got something different, like Gini Wijnaldum that doesn't have, or maybe a Henderson or a Milner. I feel like he can play in like number 10 or across the front three, and he could really be a vital player for us. I feel like the League Cup games coming up against Chelsea, I'd love to see him feature in that, and then maybe we could assess him once he's played a full 90 and we see where he's at.
Yeah, top drawer again, mate. I think you've been fantastic on this calling. I have to agree with that. I think Adam Lallana, like I say, before his injuries, he was one of the first names on the team sheet. Klopp loves him. In this transfer window and leading up to it, everyone was saying Lallana's going. So many people kept messaging me going, oh, Lallana will be sold when he does. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, no way, Klopp absolutely loves him. Like, he talks about him so highly, and I thought he's not going anywhere, you know. But he's got a fight on his hands to get in there, and it is tough, you know. I see DBF is saying Lallana injury was a tough one. He plays like Owen talked about, scared of getting injured again. So it's true that Lallana's battle it's going to be mental as well as physical. It's about getting himself fit enough, keeping himself available and keeping his injuries at bay. And he's also looking at new midfielders that are coming to the club. So he's got to fight for his position. I don't like that he's been called up to England because it's the internationals and because of that whole situation. But at the same time, there was a comment that I really liked from Max saying hopefully he can get some minutes because it's great for him.
Yes.
And I like that Max has said that because I think it is minutes that really Lallana does need because he's not getting it for Liverpool, is he? So
I think that's a great point because I feel like in pre-season he didn't feature much, and for Liverpool he's not featured at all, I don't think. So I think going to England duty, I think it'll be good for him because I feel like if you could get some minutes, maybe a start even, it'll be like a little pre-season for him. You know, it'll be 2 weeks away with England. I think they're playing 2 games. If you could get like maybe a substitute appearance or maybe a first team start, I think it'll do the world of good for him. And of course, he hasn't played much. So I think for him, if he could play any type of football, whether it's with the reserves, whether it's with England, I think it's so vital for him to do that. If he gets match fit, and he could really give Klopp another problem in midfield because he could easily get into that midfield free, but he's obviously got to improve his match fitness and show what he can really do.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see him get fit again, get match fit, and then it's about being sharp as well, isn't it? Because that's the one thing is he'll be available, but he needs to make sure that he's sharp because the lads that are going to be competing for their midfield spots this year, they all need to be at the best of their game because we're going to be competing for silverware and the quality that we've got in the team now, all the level of their games need to be raised. So, yeah, for sure, Adam Lallana is a quality player when he is match fit and match sharp, and I hope that he does get back to his best.
And lastly, I just want to say that I think Adam Lallana, I think he's got a good relationship with Danny Ings, and I think he should be inspired about what Danny Ings is doing at Southampton. You know, for 3 years at Anfield, he didn't really get his chance. He was injured. You know, Adam Lallana has had his chance. He's been able to prove himself. But I feel like the mental strength that Ings had, for example, to obviously he moved on, of course, but I think maybe Lallana could maybe look at that and think, you know what, I've been out for more than a year, but I could still come back and I could still force my way back into Klopp's plans because he is a vital player. He was a vital player. And I think Klopp did say once, when we play our pressing game, he's key to what we do. He's the first line of press almost with Fabinho. So I feel like I just want him to be back and hopefully he could be back to his best.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, mate. Put it this way, a fit and fully firing Adam Lallana only benefits Liverpool, doesn't it? That's
exactly.
What
you look at Man City, for example. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and David Silva. They're all number 10s, all similar type of players. And they've got 3 of them, similar type of players. They've got De Bruyne up for 3 months. They're not stressed or worried. You know, we need to use Lallana and, you know, the other players we have, Shaqiri, for example, as well. So it's all about depth. But yeah, it was amazing speaking to you. And it was nice to meet you on the show.
And you as well, mate. It's been fantastic. I hope you call into the show again, mate. Honestly, you've been a brilliant calling. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Thank you for calling in, and I'll get you on the show again for sure. Call in next time.
Sure, I sure will do. Have a lovely day. Take care.
And you, mate. Take care. Speak to you soon.
Take care.
Another great call in there. We've had brilliant call-ins on the show today. They've been top draw. DZB is in the building. Just got in from work, Daz. Good to see you come in and join the live stream. I hope that you can now put your feet up and enjoy the rest of your evening. A lot of us, obviously, you've just finished in work. School's pretty much back or getting back for a lot of you guys as well. Some of you that were at school and college and stuff like that. I feel for those of you. I would say I remember those days, but I don't. It's too long ago. But yeah, horrible, isn't it? Leon says, we've got a lot of good problems to have. Statistically, Keita and Fabinho had better seasons last season. Mr. Max says, hey Daz, mate, sorry I'm late. Was nap time for me. Not a problem at all, mate. We all need our beauty sleep, don't we, Mr. Mac? DBF says, Lallana come back similar to Sturridge. Always little setbacks. Not sure if the training is too tough. So that's a very interesting point there. Maybe these little setbacks could be caused by the tough intensity of the training. Mitchell is in the building. Good to see you today. He says, just in from work also. All tough days for everyone. Just in from work. Good to see you join us tonight, Mitchell. Hope you haven't worked too hard today. But yeah, thank you for joining me as always. Leon says, the rest of our midfielders. Yes, DZB says, thanks, Daz. You're very welcome, DZB. George is in as well. Daz, how are you? I'm very good, thank you, George. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Nigel says, thank you. Great phoning, hearing your views. I agree with a lot of what you said. Cheers, bro. LFC Premiership 2018-19 winners. If we manage to win it for sure, Nigel, then come on. How good would that be? Put it this way, Nigel. My look at it is Liverpool have got to win it soon. We are going to win it under Jurgen Klopp. There's no doubt about it. With the way we're going, we are on that progression. We are going to win it. So why bloody wait, isn't it, Nigel? Learning Man says, do you remember? Do you remember, Learning Man? I don't know what I'm remembering. Is it remembering you? I think you always ask me if I remember you, maybe. Connor says, picking our midfield this season is going to be tough because we have so much talent in every position. Connor, spot on. We have a lot of talent, not just in midfield, Connor. I think defensively, we was all talking about leading up to this transfer window and even right up till the end of the transfer window that we need another centre-back. And I would still go as far as saying that we still need another centre-back. But Joe Gomez has been absolutely on fire. For those of you that haven't seen the video on the channel, I put out a video yesterday. Top 5 reasons why I think that Joe Gomez will be world class for Liverpool Football Club. That's out on the channel, so definitely check that one out there. There's already a lot of you guys that have watched it and left your comments on why you think he will be world class. And yeah, great to see your views as well. So go on there, watch that. Let me know your views on it, and if you think he is already world class as well, leave a comment and let me know. But Gomez has been quality centre back. We got Nat Phillips there with a pathway into, the team for sure. The only concerns is with some of the centre backs, Lovren, Matip, Gomez even. There's been a few injuries on and off for these players, so you hope that the injuries start by down the line. If that happens, then quality. But you just have to look at Liverpool's squad is strong and we've got squad depth. But there's a few players in there that you're looking at. You wonder how available they will be consistently. But you always have that. You could sign a player in a transfer window and you can't guarantee that they're going to be available. They could get a serious injury the day after you sign them and that's it. So it's a difficult one, isn't it, guys? George says, we are looking good. We should win it, Daz. We have the best chance to win it overall. We are looking good. George, I absolutely love that. We are looking good. Obviously, 4 games down, 4 wins. I think a lot of people may have took my match reaction as in, I was moaning. I think the way I was looking at the performance against Leicester, the title didn't out because I was like, it wasn't good enough. I think, I was happy with the 3 points against Leicester. I think as I come away from watching it, I think I was frustrated watching a performance where Leicester did really well against us. And in the grand scheme of things, Liverpool, the performance was good enough because we got the 3 points, didn't we? So it was good enough. But yeah, grand scheme of things, Liverpool did well enough to come away with the 3 points. Defensively, this season, we've been a lot stronger than what we have in previous seasons. And so far, these are the sort of games that we need to get results. But it needs to start to click a bit better, doesn't it, when we're in possession of the ball. If that starts to happen, then teams really need to be scared of Liverpool this year, because once it clicks for us up top, once it clicks for us in possession, we have shown that defensively we are one hell of a team this year. We are strong, we're compact, we're a unit. And you've got to praise Gomez, you've got to praise Virgil, you've got to praise Robbo, Alisson, everything all round, Like I say, the match reaction was because in general the fans on the live stream were saying it was a tough game to watch, wasn't it? It was frustrating. It wasn't good enough when we was in possession of the ball, but defensively we did enough to get the 3 points. Cameron says, Daz, do you think we will go back in for Fekir in January? Cameron, I think if we could get him cheap enough, he's not happy there. I think they are going to be selling him. I don't think that there's many other clubs that might end up coming in and signing him, so there's a possibility, but I wouldn't want anyone to get their hopes up, Cameron, if that makes sense. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? It's very difficult. The Fekir stuff is very, very difficult, isn't it? Eric says, same thing, Mr. Mac. I think Lovren will struggle to get back into the squad. Cameron, I definitely agree with you there. DZB says, Daz, you are going offline all the time. It keeps buffering. Anyone else stream buffering like mad? So there's an internet problem here, is there? Okay, guys, it may just be because we got really bad weather here. So if there's problems with the internet, then I think I will call that it, because we've been close to the hour mark. I hope that, you know, throughout the stream, the majority of it was good enough. Thank you to everyone that has joined me. Hopefully, you know, it hasn't been too much of an issue for most of you. And apologies if the streamers start getting bad. Like I say, the weather is pretty shocking outside. Yeah, so Henderson signs a new long-term deal. Fantastic. Andy Robertson is made Scotland captain. Fantastic. Anderlecht have been pointing fingers. Fabinho has been called up to Brazil as a right back. Interesting. Brewster wants to prove that he's good enough for Liverpool. Klopp has said that he has, you know, full trust completely in Jordan Henderson. Brilliant. Mane wins PFA Player of the Month. Quality and fantastic call-ins by you guys. Again, you know, the call-ins are getting better and better on this channel. You guys are calling in more and more. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much to you guys for joining today. Please leave a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the stream as well. It's been really good getting you guys, you know, your views on it in the live chat. The call-ins, mint. Thank you so much. Nigel, again, thank you for that £5 donation. I saw it. Again, like I say, the super chats, YouTube doesn't like to let me know when it's coming up, but thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your days, guys. We are Liverpool Football Club. We are the best team in the world. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy daily content like this, hit subscribe, and I look forward to getting your views on Liverpool in the future. I've been on the bench, LFC. You've all been legends. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Enjoy.